Hello and welcome back to Culinary Haven. To celebrate St. Patrick's Day, today we're bringing you Culinary Haven version of a classic Irish potato and apple farl. Let's begin. To make the potato and apple farl, we'll need 4 potatoes, peeled and halved, and then we'll boil them, and 50 grams of butter, 2 cups of plain flour, 2 large cooking apples. I'm using brownie apples, but any variety of cooking apples is fine. Some sugar, some salt, and a little bit more butter as well. And that's done. Whilst the potatoes are cooking there on the background until they're tender, just normal boiled potatoes, we're going to prepare the apples. We'll peel them and then grate them coarsely. So, coarsely grate them. And now we're going to cook the apples in a small saucepan. You need about 30 grams of butter and all of the apples, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Brownie apples are very sour, they need that. It won't be too sweet, don't worry. And now we're going to bring it to a simmer on a very low heat and cook it, stirring for about 10 minutes until the apples are soft and the juices are evaporated. We'll just give it a little stir and let the butter melt. The apples are going brown, but with the heat they will go back to being light and beautiful. As you can see, they're not very pretty now, this kind of rusty color, but they will change the color once they cook. They will get light. They will become lighter. Interesting chemistry. Goes brown with being oxidized, and then with the heat they go back to a light color. There's plenty of juice, as you can see, plenty. And as soon as they start to bubble, we'll turn it down. The potatoes are boiling now, so don't forget to salt it. It's been 10 minutes and the juices are gone and the apples are nice and soft. It's ready. We're taking it off the heat. And now I'm going to transfer the cooked apples into this dish so they cool down. The filling must be cold completely. Every bit of it. And now the filling is, as you can see, it's nice and thick. I'll just spread it evenly, and we're making 4 potato and apple farls. So once it's cold, we'll divide it in 4, and I'll just put it somewhere cool and let them cool completely. The potatoes are now ready. I put them back on the cooker just for a minute to let all the moisture evaporate. All dry now, and now we're going to make the mash. I'm going to use potato ricer. If you don't have that, you can use just a potato masher. I prefer that, makes finer mash. Not a drop of water in the pot. And I'm adding 50 grams of salted butter. I'm using salted butter because even though we've salted the potatoes when they were cooking, we're adding 2 cups of flour, we need more salt. If you don't have salted butter, you'll just add a little bit more salt to the mash. I'll just stir it and let the butter melt completely and incorporate into the mashed potatoes. And then we'll start adding the flour. It's so nice and smooth. No lumps. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of plain flour into the bowl, blend it in using a rubber spatula. The flour, of course, will cool the potatoes down, so I can then switch to just doing it by hand and I'll make the dough. It looks so not like dough right now, but it will be a nice, lovely, smooth, elastic dough. This is it. The 1 cup of flour is incorporated into the potatoes, and I'm going to put the 2nd cup just on the worktop, like so, and the potatoes and the flour. It's not hot anymore, so I'm just doing the rest by hand. And now we'll just start kneading it gently. Gathering the flour around the potato and flour mixture and just incorporating it all together, and in the end we'll have a nice, lovely dough. We're just treating it, we're kneading it as we would any dough, any bread dough. The palms of your hands, pushing it and then pulling it back, incorporating all the flour and stretching it a little bit. The dish, potato and apple farl, originates in the county of Armagh in Northern Ireland, which is also famous for its apple orchards and their own variety of Brownlee apples. Getting there takes about 10 minutes to make the dough. I use my dough scraper to scrape all the bits, use them all. And with every push and every turn, you can see that it looks more and more like a dough. Isn't that amazing? Just a few minutes ago, it was a bowl of mash, and it's transforming into a dough that you can roll out, even though there is no yeast in it. It will be nice and silky and elastic. You're going to add a little bit of more flour, just sprinkle on your worktop and keep kneading. But we're almost there. Approximately, it takes 10 minutes. But you will feel when the dough is dry on the surface when you touch it, and it's really smooth. You can see that now I'm stretching it and it's not tearing. I think there. Just a few more seconds. It's getting harder to stretch, which actually means that the dough is ready. That's it. And now we'll shape it into this lovely bowl. Sprinkle it with the flour a little bit and cover it with the bowl we were using to make the mash and let it rest for 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, the dough is nicely rested and the filling is cold. And now we'll make the farls. This amount of dough will give us 4 potato and apple farls. I'll just knead it a little bit and check it's nice and soft. And now I'm going to divide this dough in 4. I'm rubbish at dividing things. Just never equal. I'll do one by one. We'll cover the rest so they don't dry out. And we'll make them and then we'll fry them. I'm going to use a cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, you can use a heavy bottom frying pan. Flour your rolling pin and start rolling gently, turning it and rolling it into a circle about 20 centimeters in diameter. So you can see it's not a crumbly mash anymore, it's actually a nice, smooth, soft and elastic dough. Looks about right. 20, exactly. And now we're going to divide the filling into 4. In the center, like so. And now we will start closing it. Just gather the edges together in the center. Press it, seal it tightly, and that looks like a little money pouch. And now press it gently, and that will spread the filling. Do it very gently, we don't want to tear it. Turn it around and just keep pressing gently, spreading the filling and making it into about 15 centimeters in diameter disc. That's it. And now on with the next. I'm going to cook them on this cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, you can use a heavy bottom frying pan or skillet. The reason is that once it heated up, it retains the heat, and you will just turn it down and you will never adjust the temperature again. So I'm preheating the skillet. It's starting to smoke, so I can now turn it down. Add a little bit of butter, about a teaspoon or a little bit more than that. Swirl it around. And fry it for 5 minutes. Once the skillet is really hot and the butter is hot, turn it down and cook for 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes, and now we're going to turn it over. And cook for another 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. On the other side, let's check. It's ready. Lift it off and on to the next one. Here we are, the potato and apple farls are ready, and I really like to have them for breakfast, but you can have them at any time of the day, for lunch or as a snack with a cup of tea. Really lovely. Thank you for watching this episode of Culinary Haven. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all, and until next time, bye.